And then you have what we call the conventional or conforming loans, those type of things. Conventional requires you to have about 5% down. Okay, so again, like I said, FHA is a little bit easy to get. Conventional is a little bit harder to get, where you can do an FHA about a 580. Conventional, you need to be closer to about 620, 640 on most cases, but some of them allow you to get in at 620. But you get more benefit at 640. So again, a little bit more higher credit score, but you have a higher down payment requirement, but there are some lenient, and when I probably have one of my lending partners on in the next week or so, and I'll do a deeper dive into the aspects of all of those, because I don't want to go into and then, like, again, I am not a mortgage professional, I'm a real estate agent. So these are just basic knowledge that we're going over at this point in time, okay? Then you have the non-conforming loans, and these are specialized loans that each bank may have, that only a certain bank may have, or a credit union, or your Naval Federals and those type of things. Or they're a specialized CRA program, which is your CRA is your Community Reinvestment Act. That is an act that the federal government put in place requiring lending institutions to set aside money specifically for low to moderate income areas, right? So with the CRA, most of your banks have to have that program in place. If they do not, they are heavily penalized, and they cannot expand, they cannot grow, those type of things. So if a bank gets in trouble for those things, then they have to kind of retrack and get those numbers up, because they have to have a certain amount of numbers of loans going into those low to moderate income areas, right? So with those, that opens up another ball game where they can get really fancy, because again, they don't have to meet the requirements of the federal government for the FHA, VA, USDA loans, and then they can kind of tweak their requirements on the conventional, because these usually are loans that they keep on their books. The FHAs, the VAs, the USDAs, and some of the conventionals are usually, after they're done, they're sold off to an investor or the federal government, and that's why they're backed by that. And that's why they have a little bit more strenuous requirements. But when you're dealing with a non-conventional loan or non-conforming loan, that means that the bank is setting their own standards when it comes to the lending. Now, some of them that are out there that have really good programs that I like. You have BBVA that has a good program that's doing anywhere from 97 to 100% finance. You have BB&T that's doing similar, where they have 100% finance and $500 close. Bank of America has a good program, and we'll be probably having an event pretty soon with Bank of America as far as their program. As you heard, I've even heard this morning that Wells Fargo has a grant program out where they're giving away $15,000 towards close. So these are all things that are helping people get into the homes. So again, if it's money that is keeping you from making that next step to trying to become a homeowner, again, there are more than enough programs and assistance out there that will at least eliminate that that hurdle for you, right? And like I said, if you're dealing with a great real estate agent or even a good lender, they're going to find out and know where these programs are, okay? Again, like I said, I don't want to go too long. I'm already at 15 minutes. I just want to kind of put the basics out there when it came to the types of loans out there. Again, government issued loans. We're talking about FHAs, VAs, USDA. These are loans that are backed or funded by the federal government. Then you have the conventional loans that still have, some ties to the federal government, but it's a little bit different situation. Then you have the non-conforming loans, where it's a bank specified or credit union specified loan that a little bit easier to get, maybe some lots as strenuous circumstances to get into, or even some type of CRA program, where if you're buying a home in a low to moderate income area, there's a lot of benefits that are come out with that. Again, like I said, no down payment. Some of them are paying or giving money towards your closing costs in bulk. So they're putting a lot of money back into the low to moderate income area. So again, as always, we're here to inform, give you free advice on how to make yourself a homeowner, or if you're looking to invest, there's also some other ways to get into investment, even with a conventional loan, or they have some FHA loans for investors as well. But then there's also some kind of, I don't even know what to call them, off the cuff type of loans where we're going to get into hard money, personal funding, those type of things that help you purchase, maybe your first rental house or a piece of land, things like that. So again, don't want to go too much in depth on that, because again, I always want to be conscious of you guys' time and trying to keep these videos kind of short and sweet. But we'll go more in depth into credit and things like that tomorrow, going into next week, and going to DTI and things like that. And then probably have one of my preferred lenders come in and go and kind of deeper dive into the FHA process, the VA process, those type of things, what they're looking for, what banks are requiring. It's more than just having a credit score. Sometimes a lot of banks want you to have certain types of credit. I know at my previous bank, in order to get a mortgage, you had to have an installment loan. Installment loan, for those that don't know, an installment loan is a loan that has a start and a finish, right? So that means I gave you $20,000 to buy this car. You have 60 months to pay me off. At zero, the loan goes away. So installment loans, that's usually your cars, your homes, sometimes your furniture. You can have, some electronics, those type of things. Like a Cons has a good installment loan program, those type of things. So again, installment loans has a start and a finish, right? Then they also want you to have 2 to 3 revolving lines of credit. Revolving lines of credit are your credit cards, your lines of credit, things like that, things that you can charge up and pay down, So all it is that they want to be able to look how you manage that money. If it's as low as 300, how do you manage that 300? Or if you have a $10,000 line of credit, how do you manage those? All it is about how well have you taken care of the money that has been given to you, right? And it's all about, basically growing. Usually when you get your first credit card, they're giving you $300 to $500. As you take care of it, you grow, you make your on-time payment, they start increasing that over time. Same thing with, buying your first car or buying your first home. They want to make sure that you have been taking care of that $10,000 car before they give you this $50,000 car. So all that to say, we'll go deeper into the credit piece probably next week. Hey, just want to thank you guys for tuning in this week's episode of Finance Fridays. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is Stephen Thomas with Refine Realty, where the advice is free, but the knowledge is priceless. See y'all next week.